The Supreme Court has directed the Manipur government, CBI NIA, to submit probe reports on Manipur violence. The SC also asked whether charge sheets have been filed in cases of violence. The SC also said that the government must maintain law and order, and the SC can't direct civil society groups and organizations from indulging in violence, desisting violence, because court themselves are not an authority, they don't have a police arm. The SC said it is the government's responsibility to control the action and activities of such civil society groups and ensure law and order in the state. On this issue, I'm joined by a group captain, B. Nandakumar Sharma, spokesperson, Delhi Meitei Coordinating Committee, and Dr. Thangulal Haukip, Assistant Professor, Center for Study of Law and Governance, and in the studio, Brijesh Pandey. I'll straight away go to Nandakumar Sharma. Sir, for the first time, the courts have taken cognizance of the fact that civil society activists need to be brought under control, because the committee which is operating is also talking about the fact that the feedback which is being given to the court is it's just not a protest, it has turned into an armed protest.
Kartika, the Supreme Court has given direction. This is not the first time. Earlier also it has given certain directions. However, maintaining law and order is the subject of the state, and so far the controlling of the ongoing conflict is not resolved because of various reasons. And in my opinion, the FIRs will be lodged, and it is a long process, and we know how the court cases and FIR takes time. These are secondary issues. At present, we need to solve certain problems. The problems at the rehabilitation center or the relief camps, or the basic needs of the common people, especially in imphal, whereas the people are trapped into the valley where they cannot go outside Manipur except the air. And airfare has increased quite a lot substantially. The prices of the good have increased a lot. And more than the radius of 5 to 7 kilometers, the people of meitei communities cannot go out. It's a big problem. And also medical, attending to the medical facilities where it is not available in imphal is a big problem. So government also to take certain necessary steps, like giving a concession to the airfare to the meiteis, where when they have to travel to the outside Manipur, they must financially benefit. Whereas in the hills districts, the helicopter services have been started and the other measures have been given. Similarly, certain sorts of concessional rates should be given to the meitei community. And in fact, the Supreme Court has rightly said the law and order should be maintained. And the problem here is the armies. There are about more than central security forces, 40 to 60,000, as reported by the different medias. They should also take certain actions, because the Armed Forces Special Power Act still exists in most of the hill areas, and except in some 16 odd areas of the Fifth Valley. So they can take strict actions. And I'll come back once again to the suspension of operation. Once it is, the Manipur government has already withdrawn from their side. So central government also should take initiative and this suspension of operations. Once suspension of operation is withdrawn, then army and security forces can take actions under the ASFA. So that's how the conflict and the violence can be controlled. However, no such actions have been initiated by the central government. This is leading to the main problem of the Manipur crisis, and it's still ongoing. It's almost about 11 months, as you know, Kartikeya.
Okay, Mr. Haukip, your opening comment. The reason why I thought I will have a conversation is that the court has been cognizant of this issue, which is, I think, is something very, very important.
Yeah, just to begin with this conversation, I would like to point out, I was not there in the discussion, but just to go back to the February 15 incident in Churachandpur, which was one of the most serious case of incidents in the hill or the kuki dominated areas. If you look into the issue, you could observe that this kind of incidents could have been avoided. Suspension of one police personnel could have been handled in different ways, through dialogue, through certain mechanisms in the institution of the state. But however, why do the people, outburst in such a huge kind of, or even violent kind of reaction? Because if you look into the kind of suspensions or any kind of state government reaction to violation of the police and other kind of manuals, you find that for almost 10 months. In the valley, there have been viral videos and pictures where Twitter and other social media users have indicated, the police and others were breaking many laws, which uh, the state government has not taken action. But on the other hand, if you look into particularly the case of the looting of arms in several places, no action was taken. Only after the February 15 incident in Churachandpur, the previous case of armed robbery was
Okay.
taken into action. The
Okay.
personals were made responsible for such looting. Some
Okay.
people were
Mr.
suspended.
Haukip, let me
So
connect this.
only after such uproar in the hills,
Let me connect
you
this
will
with a
find that there
larger
is
thing.
a kind of there is a kind of reaction from the state administration. So
Let
this
me.
kind of injustice has to be looked into
Fair
properly
enough.
in order to talk about law and order situation in Manipur.
Brijesh, these are fair points. Today, uh, I know I'm putting two and two together. Bharatiya Janata Party in Haryana dropped both Vijay and Khattar. Gone? Political decision. I would say, why are such political decisions absent in Manipur? Any type of political decision.
Well, I think they are catering to their perceived vote bank. They are saying that if they remove the chief minister, it might lead to political chaos, instability, and that is the reason why the Manipur chief minister is not being removed. Places where they have been removed, the chief ministers, they have been removed at the altar of expediency. They realize that these people are expendable. If you remember the last time, when it happened, there was a lot of women organization had come out and protested against and tore the letter of N. Biren Singh, his resignation letter and all. Though, I mean, these kind of things we know how it is done. But right now, I think N. Biren Singh has the backing of the central government, and they are not backing out of that situation. It is very, very clear as far as the entire narrative goes. See, the thing is that law and order is a state subject, but what the court can do is, because Geeta Mittal is no ordinary person, she is the one who has been appointed by the Supreme Court to look into it. She can point out to what is happening, and the court can force the state to look into those specific issues also. It's not that the court can just say that, we cannot ask the state government to look into what civil societies are doing and just wash their hands away. The court can direct, otherwise, the court can say that law and order is a state subject, then you can go on do what the state can do, whatever they want, under the pretext that it's a state subject.
Mr. Sharma, it's not a light word to use. It's an armed protest. It's a very strong word.
Yes, I would say I would agree to you, because it's some sort of armed protest, because both sides are heavily armed. Some of the arms have been looted and some are supplied through border. So it is a very alarming situation for the state, and even it's alarming for the nation as well as. And also, why this is happening is because of a lack of interest by the central government, or they are purposely letting this happen. Because controlling small armed groups like Sioux groups, as we receive information from the various media personnel, there are about 1400 to 1800, and recently the meitei groups have also undergone with the central government some sort of agreement. Those are also numbers are very few. And similarly, the Nagas, they also have some agreement with the central government. So they are few in number. I don't think altogether the armed personnel in the Manipur will not be more than 10,000. And the presence of more than 60,000 of central security forces, and more on top of that, about 45,000 state police services, it should not be a problem to handle such situation. But it appears, by talking with different intelligent people in here in various forums,
Okay.
it appears that center is purposely letting this arms conflict happening so that they can resolve some sort of Kashmir type of solution,
Okay.
which Home Minister Amit Shah
Okay.
would have thought initially, but that would have backfired. They would not have thought that the civil society would have retaliated in such a manner. And this has been one of the wrong calculations by the central government. And since the Meitei or Manipur has very less political significance in terms of Lok Sabha, so they are not solving this problem, and
No,
they will focus in
I
the
think
coming Lok Sabha.
political significance, but I think, there is another issue, and on this I would like to join Dr. Hauke. Dr. Hauke, the CAA rules have been notified. Do you think it can have an impact on the current situation in Manipur, sir? Can you unmute yourself, sir?
Yeah, definitely. This is going to have a certain form of impact. I have discussed this issue yesterday also. Definitely, after Manipur coming into the inner line regulation since December 2019, the CAA can't be applied to Manipur because as per Section 3 of the CAA rules, it is stated that the CAA cannot be applied to tribal areas where Sikh schedule is functional, as well as the inner line regulation laws are applied. So, which means that Manipur is among the excluded states, which means that many people who have been migrating from Sylhet in Bangladesh due to historical factors, as we all are aware that 200 years ago there was invasion from the Burmese, the whole of Assam Plains, Manipur Valley were vacated by a large number of populations who are scattered in Kachar and Tripura as well as in Sylhet in Bangladesh today. So people would like to migrate back to perhaps to India. So with this implementation of inner line, they are unable to claim citizenship under the CAA. So this has to be looked into properly because Manipur is a home land of the Manipuris, particularly the meiteis in the valley. So it would be very difficult for them to process or to apply for Indian citizenship. This has to be looked into by the Home Ministry under this law. So this is my only concern. Otherwise, the hill areas of Northeast are protected, or CAA is not applicable into this area, and their land identity and then culture has been protected by different forms of laws in the country. And I think this can be extended definitely
Okay.
to India's
Okay.
other neighbors. For instance, Myanmar and other South Asian countries, we have
So basically, you're
people
saying
of
that
Indian origin.
the notification of CA might have an impact on Manipur. Brijesh, do you agree with this,
I think it
or
will
is
have
just a side issue?
I think it will have an impact in Manipur, and there's already NRC which is causing a lot of skirmish between the two communities about the cut-off date, about whether they will be able to do or not. I think CA is going to become an election issue, if I may say so, in the 2024 general election.
Mr. Sharma, CA, will it have an impact?
Yeah, but I don't think it will have an impact in Manipur because we don't find any much of the Hindus staying in Bangladesh. It is the CA is specifically for Pakistan, Bangladesh, Afghanistan area. We have a lot of Manipuris in Myanmar, especially in Mandalay, the Meiteis and the Meitei Hindus especially. So they don't come under the ambit of CAA. And if I don't come to any contact of any Bangladeshi Hindus, especially the Meitei or Manipuris, so I don't think even if it is there, there will be a very less number, and the CA will not have any impact on the Manipur present crisis as well as in the coming upcoming elections. It will be just a political gimmick to play along with the rest of the India.
Thank you both of you. Thank you both of you, Dr. Haukip and Mr. Sharma, joining me on this show. Thank you so much, because the question which the court today has raised, and the reason why we did this conversation, is for one simple reason, that Manipur theatre has witnessed an unprecedented activity on part of the civil society activists. And some of the civil society activists, and I use the word some, because some of them are armed to the teeth. And not only they pressurize the government, but they have created systemic political economies within separate geographies which are sustaining this present conflict in Manipur. And that is why it's very difficult to break it, because both these political economies are based on a communitarian point of view of Manipur. Both of them imagine Manipur exclusive to the other community, and that is at the heart of the problem. And unless and until that is resolved, the issue is going to burn, continue to burn. And I think and this is something which the court is very cognizant of. The legal luminaries who have been deployed by the Supreme Court of India are very cognizant of. But ultimately, the issues of governance And ultimately, when it comes to the issues of conflict, they cannot be resolved only through the court. They have to be resolved through accords and political negotiation. Whether you have Longowal Accord, whether you have Lal Denga Accord, those accords are brokered by politicians. That is why you need politics, that is why you need negotiation, that is why you need people who can make a difference, where people can actually ask other to shift a bit. And if that shifting doesn't take place, then we have a big problem on our hand.